Art is too important not to share. Welcome to the Ali and Callie Artcast.
Hi, I'm Ali.
And I'm Callie, and we're with the Coeur d'Alene Arts and Culture Alliance. Hello, everyone.
So, Callie and I were talking recently. You know, a lot of people are doing the DNA thing where they're going on to Ancestry.com and finding out a little bit about their background. Mm-hmm. So, I did a while ago, and Callie has too.
A while ago.
I think we are DNA
sisters. I think so.
We have almost the same background.
Almost identical.
Irish, Scottish, English, a little German.
Yeah. I'm 38% Irish, Scotch-Irish, and then I got a little bit of German and some English, and then there's a little Cherokee in there.
Little Cherokee?
I got a little Cherokee in me.
Oh, well.
He's very little.
It missed the tan.
I know.
Tan
I didn't get the tan
gene.
My mom's mom had half Cherokee. I don't know, something like that. So I have probably a little more than I think. But she had really dark skin. It didn't go down to me though. I'm Irish as Irish can be. Irish and Scotch. Yeah, I burn and tan fast though.
Oh, I burn fast.
I don't burn as much, so maybe that's the difference.
Maybe so.
I just get a nice rosy red, right. And then the next day I'm nice and tan.
Oh, and I just stay rosy red.
And then this is fascinating conversation.
But that's because I think I have a lot of Viking in me.
I think you're more Viking. Yeah, I'm definitely more the
I see it.
Scotch-Irish. She's Viking.
Now that you mention it, yeah, I see it.
She is Viking.
Right.
Yes. Well,
so we're excited to have
Don.
A few episodes ago, we were able to go to the Hamilton studio and use his
Spokane.
space.
It was
Spokane,
wonderful.
And it was awesome. And so now we have Don Hamilton here. He's the head of the Hamilton studio in Spokane.
Don't tell my wife Lorna that.
Okay, because she thinks she's the head.
Well, technically, she owns 51% of the business. I mean, that's an arcane thing, but yeah, we're partners in the operation, and the name Hamilton is on the building.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, how did you start in this business?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I moved up to Spokane Christmas Eve, 1979. From LA, and I started doing commercial photography and filmmaking there from a home that I rented from my sister on 29th Avenue. And then in 1985, we bought this gymnasium in downtown Spokane. I like to say I'm the second owner, bought it from the people that built the Vatican. And when we moved in there, we added commercial filmmaking to the mix. My background is actually theater and photography, and then as of 1985, motion picture production.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Cool.
Theater to
theater. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? So everybody knows they're a fraud. I'm a fraud because I'm actually a trained actor and stage designer, lighting designer particularly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I actually studied at the university.
Mm-hmm.
But I mentioned acting. I don't mind saying that if you go and you somehow watch Benny and Joon, I'm going to get a small residual from you because I play the UPS man in Benny and Joon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my ex-husband worked on that movie.
What did he do?
He was one of the set designers.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
He did. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was a long time ago.
My kids were really little.
Yeah. No, that was terrific having that big
fun.
show come through.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So what made you, how did you get into photography? I mean, was it the lighting, or did you always love photography?
Well, my mother put cameras in my hands since I was very young to play with, and I always enjoyed doing photography in the theater, which I was interested in. And then when I was actually going to school down in Orange County at the University of California at Irvine, I was able to find myself able to do family photography down on the beach at Newport Beach, and it made money. And I did that while I was studying theater, and then I eventually went to work for the South Coast Repertory Company, which is a theater company down south. I worked as a technical director. I even acted on the stage a little bit, and I did their photography. And so that was just the whole thing about my business, if you want to call it that, is it's a manifestation of things that interest me. Not that it's necessarily good business, but it interests me. And so,
I love that, though. 'Cause
Yeah.
You should love what you do.
well, I do. I mean, and you won't work a day. So, yeah,
That's
I get to
right.
play with cameras, stills, motion pictures, get to mess with actors, artists. You know, it's a hoot.
Right. So tell us about your business and who you work with and what you do on a daily basis.
Okay, well, of course, I could tell you that we're now asking ourselves that question anew post-pandemic.
Right.
I don't know how it was over here in Idaho, but over there in Spokane, we were mostly shut down for
Yeah.
a long time. And in my life, there's been a time when I had 14 full-time employees.
Oh, wow.
Actually, my fighting weight is, I think, 5 of us full-time. During the pandemic, we went down to just me and Lorna. I mean, obviously for a long time,
Right.
But we also stayed very busy. We became experts in something known as the live stream fundraiser. We helped-
Yeah.
Oh, right.
yeah, in the year.
Everybody was doing it.
Oh boy! And in the year 2020, because of my weird mind, we took things that we used to do for people that were banquets and for which we would produce videos, but we turned them into multi-camera, high production value TV shows. And in the year 2020, we helped not-for-profits raise more than $1 million. And that
Wow.
would include
That's great.
your Spokane Symphony, your Vanessa Behan, Spokane Riverkeeper, Spokane Public Schools Foundation. I don't want to get pushy about it, but the list is long. And so now what? Like so many people, it changed everything and forever. And now we've been busy constantly. And now I realize I'm actually putting on staff because we're going to stay busy, I'm
Right.
afraid. Yeah. And, for example, the live stream business is still going on, and the multi-camera recorded business is still going on. And so when you ask about my business, I can tell you what my business was, up until March 2020.
Right.
It's changed.
And I can tell you it's been a weird couple of years living in a Philip K. Dick novel, and now we're coming out of it, except that we're not. Although I
Right.
say we're coming out of it, but I know how to fight it now. But
Right.
this monkeypox, we're going to be going back to surface cleaning. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Sony TV show. So Kristen's showing me this note. What do you
Well,
got going?
She's not explaining what it means.
No, I can tell you what she's talking about.
Okay, good.
good.
He knows what it is.
The thing that's interesting these days, I sort of get to choose to do what I want to do. And right now, I've got this old friend, Rich Cowan, who was one of the founders of North by Northwest Productions.
Yeah.
And North by Northwest, this huge conglomerate with operations in Boise and et cetera, has broken into its component pieces. And Rich Cowan is now doing production out on the West Plains. He's the guy that invented Z Nation. And in fact, I don't know if you noticed in the Spokesman Review, Ray Liotta just died.
Yes.
And he directed him in a film in Spokane.
Is that,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, the River Murders. And
Right.
so anyway, the point is that Rich is out with the guys that did Z Nation, and he's taken that part of North by Northwest that was the theatrical division and produced TV series.
Oh, okay.
And so they have now wrapped 2 new series for a new division of Sony Pictures, and that's what is prompting it. And
gotcha.
it was a lot of fun because I leased the top floor of my studio to Rich's post-production department.
Okay.
And so, it's I guess part of this thing, you want to talk about filmmaking in Spokane. Well, right now there's filmmaking in Spokane. A lot of stuff is going on. There's a lot of projects that are lining right up. And for me, again, I'm a small town guy. I got to play the UPS man in Benny and Joon.
Right.
Mostly I'm a local guy. I work on local projects, and it's just fun to watch the big time sort of swirl around. And I'm actually talking to Rich about working on another production of his, but at the moment that's all Hollywood talk, and I don't want to get into it.
Of course.
It's on the
That's
down low.
exciting.
That's great.
I'll tell you, it really is, because there's so many reasons. I was just thinking on the way over here and talking about filmmaking here. I could look it up, but there's a press release or a story in the Spokes Review that you read it, and there are these big shots from LA coming up and saying, I believe that we can have a studio here, and it will be really big. And it was the Barrymores, and they were talking about a studio that they actually built in Minnehaha. And I don't know if you guys know Claire Shipman. You must.
Yeah.
You must. I mean, she's your heroine. I mean, she was a big time filmmaker that did it right here in Coeur d'Alene with a bunch of wild animals, and there's a rich history here. But people have been saying the Inland Northwest is a pristine and fabulous place to make movies. They've been saying it for decades, and it has been on a certain level for decades. But now I think that it's safe to say that, again, particularly with the efforts of Rich and some other people, it is a little bit of a film town.
Wow.
And again, because of a lot of efforts, the Washington Film Works and such, there's a more meaningful incentive program from Washington State.
Exactly.
Which,
we don't have that in Idaho.
Well, thank God you don't, because the thing is that George is cleaning our clock. I mean, George has got an endless spigot of money, and that's why everybody's going there. So that's just the economy of it. And I happen to think it's money well spent, these incentive programs, because if you look at the people that actually, the grips, the gaffers, the makeup people, the caterers, you get it back. I don't know, did they calculate 7 to 1 or something? But it's exciting now, because now we got a little more incentive. I think it's up to like 15 million, and that's like up from 2 or 3 million. And so, I think that that could have a significant impact, and we'll see more business. And remember, it's show business.
Yes, right.
So
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's kind of exciting.
That's really exciting.
But what the hell were we talking about?
Hey y'all, it's Jason from Tubbs Coffee Roasters. We are North Idaho's specialty coffee roaster. We are homegrown and we are local. We love coffee and we love our community, especially Ali and Callie and Artcast. We have a retail space in our roastery in Hayden, and we can also be found on the shelves at Super One and Yokes. And if you like to buy coffee online, we do offer subscriptions. You can find us at tubbscoffeeroasters.com. Support arts and culture and your local roaster. That's all.
Okay, so day to day, what do you do as a filmmaker?
Well, my operation is tiny, and of course what we do is we tell stories, and there's any number of ways to reveal a story. But here's the thing, we all watch too much television. We all are very sophisticated in our tastes, and it's hard to fool us. Anyway, there's a range of vocabularies that we work in. Sometimes it's a narrative storytelling process with actors that pretend to be somebody else. Sometimes it's documentaries, but whatever it is with me, it's mostly a tiny company. As I say, my fighting strength is 5. And these days, with all the miniaturization, the stunning technological advances, I get away with murder on a regular basis. We were talking about Benny and Joon.
Yes.
We're talking about that. I love telling this story. It's a terrific story, and it's a true story.
Okay.
That when Benny and Joon came to town back in the day, it's 91, I believe. We read in the newspaper and saw saw on one of the 3 television stations that a film company was coming to Spokane.
Right.
And they were going to bring these actors up. They were going to bring up Mary Stuart Masterson and Aidan Quinn and Marianne Moore and Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Actually, I like Aidan Quinn better.
Me
Oh,
too.
no, I love Aidan Quinn, and
I'd marry him.
And so, yeah, I love Aidan Quinn. So, anyway, they were all coming up, and they said, but they're going to cast a few local roles. They're going to cast the video store owner.
Oh.
They're going to cast the UPS man. And so I thought, okay. Well, so then they had local casting, okay? And on the first day of this, 4,000 people turned up surrounding what was then the Coliseum,
Oh, my
waiting to
gosh.
get in. Yeah, you were there. Okay,
Oh,
waiting
wow.
to get in. Okay, so the thing is that I thought, okay. So what I did is I got a cardboard box and a clipboard, and I put on just all gray clothes, a gray baseball cap, and I went to the front of that line, and I said, I'm looking for casting director Rick Montgomery, and they said, oh yeah, okay, you just go right through here past the set shop, through the wardrobe department, you'll find casting all the way in the back.
Love
so
it.
I just walked right in. I say, you Rick Montgomery? I said, here, would you sign for this? And one thing you need to know, UPS men don't hang out. You know, they're paid by the piece. They want to, get the singers get out. So I said, Rick Montgomery? He said, yeah, okay. And I was gone. So maybe it was an hour and a half later, he opened the box, and in it was my 8x10 and resume. True story. He thought I was the UPS man before
love it.
he knew I was an actor looking for work.
Oh, my
so,
goodness.
we were talking about this as we were coming back to this segment about, how do you get into this industry? And well, that's how I got into the acting business. And so I was Taft-Hartley'd in. That means I'm treated like a union member. So I get residual checks. Like every 90 days, I get like $15.12. So, it's...
I'm going to go home and watch Benny and Joon.
Oh, you do, please. The thing that's most fun about it, at the very end when the credits are rolling, there are 12 names on that list.
You're
and
in
on
it?
that list, oh yeah, I'm number 12 at the bottom, but you also see Johnny Depp and
Right.
Aidan
That's
Quinn and
awesome.
just all these people. Well, yeah, so that was,
That's pretty fun.
I've
fun.
seen the elephant, so yeah.
That's great.
But actually, again, that there is so much going on in this community, and if you want to get into the business, there are definitely ways. Reaching out to the Spokane Film Project can get you working on a set right now. If you want to be the least bit serious, getting a degree out at Eastern doesn't hurt a thing, because those people are well trained, and there are people wanting to hire them right off the dock.
Wow.
I just, in fact, right this minute, today, I've had a young man in my shop that's out of a newly configured digital filmmaking division at the Spokane Falls Community College. Now, I've known them for years as a great shop for still photography training, and now to build on top of that, Ira Gardner's the instructor out there, master photographer, and now he's teaching filmmaking. It's just a very exciting time to be in the art, and if you're interested in the business, again, it's show business. It's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So Benny and Joon obviously was a pretty awesome experience for you. But what are some other projects that you've actually worked on in your studio that are your favorites?
Well, okay. I mean, I guess the most recent thing that we did, I didn't come here to flog my latest picture, but I got a friend that had a T-shirt that says, "Let's talk about you." What did you think of my last picture? About 14 months ago, in 1 week in April, we shot a feature film. It's called A Good Enough Day, and it was written and directed by my partner's son, Trevor St. John. We're still in the festival area, and in fact, we're also in the area of testing it. And in fact, we entered the project as it was in the Spokane International Film Festival, and it won the Best in the West, Best in the Northwest. So it got some recognition, but we think it needs a new open. We think it needs a hook, and so the team or the creative team behind this thing has written a new scene, and we're going to be shooting it next week on the second floor of the YWCA, and it's just one poignant, I hope, little opening moment that is, 10 years before the action of the film that we hope will be more compelling as a way to open it. I mean, I use as an example of like The Usual Suspects, begins at the end. In fact, at one point when I was talking about setting a hook, I had an idea of how we could begin at the end, but then the creative team said, okay, if we're going back in, then we ought to do this. This is the weirdest thing, if you want to talk about interesting, weird projects, because when we greenlit this project, I mean, this is my own money, my partner and wife, Lauren, and I said, we can do it. And believe me, it's cheap. So, it's well under $100,000. But we said, okay, let's do it. At the time, we're thinking, okay, it's a COVID project, and like so many things, how do we get people to work together when there's a plague going on? And but by the time we shot the thing, we had worked all that out. And the thing that's interesting about the project is that there's no actual script, there's more a roadmap. And so they withheld critical information from members of the cast, but they were given a certain amount of backstory, and then they were turned loose to improv it. And so there were a number of scenes that were one take with 3 cameras.
Wow.
And it's kind of powerful. People say the acting is good. So, I mean, I want to get this opening scene shot and set the hook. The thing is, you say, well, why didn't you shoot in the first place? Well, this whole thing evolved so strangely because it was such based on improvisation and a roadmap. We knew generally the arc of the story, what each scene was supposed to do, where each one you got in, and what you needed to have when you came out of it. And now we've gotten to the whole thing, and we look at it, and we say, but if we put this on the front, it actually would have been something maybe would have wrote in the very first place. So it's not exactly like a repair job, said the studio, but we actually, anyway, I'm looking forward to it and I'm having fun. I don't care if it makes money, great. If it doesn't, I really don't care. I shouldn't be that way, but I'm having a good time.
In the business.
Remember it's
show business, not show friends.
No.
It's show business, right? Okay.
Don't forget. So if you sold it, so what do you do if you go to the festival level? Then does the festival level, if your film got picked up, where does it go then?
Well, of course, and again, I've only heard about this. I'm not a big film producer that makes all these monies, but I'll tell you what, if you happen to get in Sundance, you're going to get a distribution deal.
Then you will, okay.
Yeah,
that's kind of the path.
And that's what that is, and that's one way to do it. And especially these indies, I mean, this is the ultimate low-budget indie. No studio is behind this, except the Hamilton studio.
Well, there you go.
But
gotcha.
yeah, and so that's the economics of it. And whether you get in a festival or not, there are any number of distribution paths.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of sources out there that need content.
Sure.
And we happen to think we can find our market.
How long is it?
Well, let's see. I haven't put the first new scene on it, but I think it was feature length. It seems to me it was 86 minutes.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Oh, yeah. It's a feature length movie.
That's
yeah.
cool.
Oh, that's so fun. I can't wait to see it.
We had this wonderful experience again. I can't remember. It was in the wintertime. It was the night that was so windy that blew the O off of the Fox Theater.
Oh,
do you remember that night? I mean, that actually happened. The O blew off of the Fox Theater. On that night, I had rented the Fox Theater.
No.
And in fact, and it was so magnificent because it was a test screening. It was not a release. You know what I'm saying? It was before the film festival.
Right.
But we had like 200 people screening it in the Fox Theater, and it was the first time that the Fox Theater had actually been used as a cinema palace since the renovation.
Really? Wow.
Oh yeah, it was a thing. The thing was that there was a covenant that wouldn't let them screen movies in there for 10 years after the $30 million renovation. But now, if they offer to show you a movie at the Fox and they got them lined up, man, it's an experience. It's the greatest film palace west of the Mississippi, period.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are you going to do another test run there?
Well, I would love any excuse to hire it. In fact, I'm sure I can get back in there.
Would you please invite Callie and I?
Yeah.
I certainly will.
And Kristen.
Okay, everybody gets invited. You bet. Well, there's 1,500 seats in there, so I mean, there's room.
We'll take 3.
But it was just really exciting to see this thing. The theater itself, again, they signed a deal with AMC at the time of the renovation that it wouldn't suddenly be a movie palace competing with them. Well, that covenant just clicked off.
Wow.
And so now what did they just screen? Napoleon Dynamite? I wasn't there for that, but they did it for real. I mean, a massive projector, huge sound system.
Wow.
And I mean,
That's cool. I didn't know.
I mean, for 10 years, it's like it's been a Corvette with nothing under the hood. I mean, yeah, you could have the Symphony, which is the greatest hall in the world for the Symphony, make no mistake. But it was emasculated. It was not a cinema palace, but it is again. So keep your eyes peeled. If you hear of a movie at the Fox, go see it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I sang at
That's
the
good.
Fox.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I did hair at the Fox.
Oh, I played a puppet on the Fox Theater.
When was this? What did you do?
I was in hair with the Modern Theater. We did it a couple
And
of
you
years
did it
ago.
at the Fox?
Yeah, we did
That's
in
cool.
concert.
Oh, fun.
Hair.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun.
Modern. Now, Modern was here
And there,
and there because they took over the carcass of Interplayers.
Yes.
Yeah, I was on the board when that deal was made. I was on the board of Interplayers when the whole thing shut down.
Oh, my ex-husband used to design for Interplayer.
I used to design for Interplayers.
Oh, my
See,
God.
that asshole.
I'm just
kidding.
No, that was the
just
thing. I
kidding.
came up when I worked with Bob and Joan. I was there on the first day. In fact, I'm the guy that painted the ceiling black in there. And and I took some tricks that I learned when I was studying theater at the Pacific Conservatory of the Performing Arts in Santa Maria, California, that has a serious thrust stage that's a copy of the old Guthrie Theater in Minneapolis. And so floor treatment is so important. That was what was so much fun about designing for Interplayers was the floor treatment.
Right.
It wasn't just proscenium arch.
No.
Boy, this is out of nowhere.
Well, I worked at Interplayers too. Well, not Interplays. It was Modern when I worked there.
So this is crazy. So tell me about hair. What role did you play? Were you naked?
No, no. It was the concert version.
Oh, okay. No, this is radio of the mind right now. But you did hair? Were you naked?
No.
Well,
Abby,
she would have gotten a spray tan. if
I
she
would have
was.
gotten a spray tan. Oh, Lord.
The 100% coverage.
I would have been so dark you wouldn't have seen me.
Hey, by the way,
Except my
I
teeth.
have to say, I mean, and I just am sitting here with you, and there's no special lighting, but I actually have taken a picture to prove the point. You guys are radiant.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what I said. Whatever it is, it's fabulous.
you.
So,
Thank you.
We feel good.
Yeah.
We feel good
That
on
was
this.
a good $20 I spent.
That should go. No, really. It totally works
on this
for me.
gray day.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
Hi, Ali here. Hey, do you love our Artcast? Be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast app or like us on Facebook to get notifications about some upcoming giveaways, like an official Ali and Callie mug. Our audience is growing too, and we are a great outlet for advertising. Consider being a sponsor, and Callie and I will record an ad for you or help you record it yourself. Thank you for listening.
So, Don, what's it like being on set?
You know, I was telling you about my set day in, day out is very, very small. But when you talk about the bigger, real shows, it's like when Rich was doing his last show, they were feeding lunch to 150 people a day. You know, so that gets to be, you know, a bit much. So, but I can remember that when I was on Benny and Joon, that, you know, I stood out and to hit my mark so they could focus the cameras and all of this, and seeing 3 light meters come in front of me, you know, from 3 different arms, and looking from where I am on camera and counting 50 human beings. You know, it's
crazy.
It's an incredible machine, and
Wow.
and so you know, the alchemy of it. You know, I got to work during the pandemic, for instance. I got to work with you know, when I said 150 a day, I actually was wrong. That was when Casey Affleck was in town for a month, and they were, you know, they shot that here and about. And I think Rich, maybe he was doing 80 or 100. But the point is, it's a lot of people.
A lot of
And it's a military operation. And you got, you know, we're wearing these headsets for the podcast here. But, you know, everybody's on headsets. Actors, especially during the COVID, they're squirreled away and safe in their trailers.
In their own little
Makeup
space,
department is doing this. And so, you know, when you got these, you know, officers of the line, you know, like the the second AD and the first AD. You got these people that are organizing the whole thing and making sure that at that one moment, everybody's there. The whole camera department, the whole prop wardrobe department, everybody's there. And all of this is set up so that the actor can have their process and deliver what they got to deliver in this unnatural environment. And to watch these pros work and to know that we have this community of these pros here. I was going to say that, during the pandemic, at one point, again, we did this weird thing. I never expected to do this in my life, but we ended up producing 5 feature-length motion pictures that were available for a limited time on Vimeo of 5 concerts of the Spokane Symphony. Plus interviews conducted by James Lowe is the greatest art I ever did. Thank you, Plague. But one of the things that made that thing work is I was able to hire for a short time Jennifer Gatz. Jennifer was one of the producers on. She's done so much Z Nation, and she just did this Casey Affleck thing, and she's working now with Mark Dahlstrom. I mean, nobody signed me to a non-disclosure, but they're going to make a movie about War of the Worlds, the Orson Welles production in Spokane.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
You heard it here, folks. Yeah.
So that's what they're working on right now.
Wow.
I mean, so there's such exciting things going on here, and just the when you talk about the question is what's it like being on the set? When you talk about this machine with 150 souls, and it's all about this moment that finally comes, from the back part of the set with people sending, get me a prop, get me a light. The electricians are running in because you waste them. Do you know what a minute of time costs on that set?
Well, yeah.
Everybody at the top of their game, everybody understanding the psychology of the art of acting and directing, and when it fires on all cylinders, it's something to behold.
Yeah.
Wow. I bet.
I just want to be on set.
Yeah.
I think as an actor and been an actor for 40 some years, it scares the hell out of me. The thought of that many people waiting.
Yeah.
And the pressure, I would,
Well, I'll tell you, it was a weird thing. Again, this is all about me.
It is about you. What's it about you? I need that T-shirt.
This Benny and Joon, okay?
Yeah.
The very first day of shooting Benny and Joon, the very first scene
is the
was
UPS?
my scene.
Oh, of course.
The very first roll the camera scene had me in it.
Wow.
And when they cast me, I was wearing a beard. And when I got there,
You didn't have the beard.
I had the beard.
Oh, you did.
But the UPS lady that was there representing the United Parcel Service
She did. You can't
and providing me my uniform and my truck said,
No beard.
we don't have facial hair.
Wow.
Now you got. Bill Bottolato was and these are big time producers. I mean,
Right.
this is 20th Century Fox. I mean, this
big
is
time.
huge. I mean, I'm sorry, this is MGM. This is MGM. I mean, this is big.
Yeah.
And so now they're coming at me as if, oh my God, now they got to renegotiate this Screen Actors Guild contract because that's it. I'm there. I'm Taft-Hartley, and I'm a screen. You don't just say, "Hey, kid, cut off the beard."
Do it.
It's
Right.
now,
Save it.
now
Now
the
or never.
producer has to come and renegotiate with the actor. So the actor never said he was going to do this job shaving his face. You want me to take off my beard now? Aiden, hold on a minute.
Wait,
the other thing.
right.
The other thing is, if you look at this first scene, the weird thing is that it was me and Aiden and a guy, Oliver Platt.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
was Oliver? Oliver Platt was nobody. He was like me. Oh, yeah. Also that day, I'm shooting with William H. Macy. This is before Fargo. He was nobody.
Right.
We were nobody.
Yeah.
We were nobody. Aiden was somebody. But at the moment, William H. Macy, Aiden Quinn, Oliver Platt, they're all watching me negotiate to cut my beard with Bill Bottolato.
I love
because
it.
we can't roll a frame of Benny and Joon until I do. This is a true story.
I love it.
And
That's
I said,
a good one.
Are you kidding me? Give me a razor.
I'll do
I'd
it
cut
right
my
now.
throat. I'm so happy to be standing here. Let's go.
Let's do it
and they
already.
looked at each other and said, okay. I was back to the makeup trailer. Zip, zip, zip.
And there you
I
were.
was.
Oh,
Wow.
see, that's a good
I
story.
forgot about that until
great
just now.
story.
I love that story.
No, that's that's the story.
But isn't
behind
that
this,
funny?
James.
The process that
you can't do it.
You're right. It's like, shave it now, but that they
You're
can't.
like, no,
they
no,
can't
no.
just do that.
No, they
call
got to
my agent.
renegotiate with the man represented by the Screen Actors Guild. And I'll tell you what, that's one of the few unions left that has any suck. You know, the musicians union, you know, of some of the local trades unions.
Yeah.
But, you know, oh boy.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of SAG, God bless SAG. Did I mention we're going to shoot one more scene for my movie?
Right.
Again, this is a real movie, legitimate Screen Actors Guild contract.
Right.
Do you know what it takes to reopen, to shoot one more scene with a couple of, again, actors represented by the Screen Actors Guild? Oh, man, the PCR tests alone, you know, the expense. But you got to do it.
That's
you got to
right.
do it according to Hoyle.
Yeah.
I just want to say one more time, God bless the Screen Actors Guild. And especially God bless their representative.
Right.
Okay.
Well said.
Well said.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, well, you know, we got a waiver there. But, I mean, yeah.
Wow.
Well, it sounds like fun.
Yeah.
You're not passionate
It's
about
show
it.
not
business.
at all.
It is show business. Let's remember business.
But it sounds like so much fun.
I know it does.
I
I
know.
would love to just go and watch.
Well, you know, I was telling this to a young guy today, and, you know, people, I tell this today, they don't believe me, but there was a time when the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus used to come to town on a train, and they would have this parade where they offloaded the elephants and they paraded up to what was then the Coliseum. This is
Yeah.
and then that's where the circus happened, was in the Coliseum. And
Right.
my wife Lauren and I went to the thing, and afterwards we were walking out the back, and here's the guy working with the elephants, and we didn't know this, but before you can put the elephants back on the train, you have to give them an enema.
Oh.
And so this guy is standing there, I mean, big, you know, up to rubber gloves up to his elbow, a yellow slicker. I'll never forget the yellow slicker boots. He's got a hose in his hand, and you know what he does with the hose.
Of course.
man.
And then there's this moment where you get the effect.
You better go.
And
Run.
the guy is there.
Run.
And I said, man, this is the worst job in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I said, man, why don't you quit?
Yeah.
And he says, quit?
This is show business.
Exactly. What? And get out of show business? I mean, my punchline is ever so better, but yes.
That's
I love
Oh my
it.
God. That is good. I love it.
That is the best.
That is a
good-
great
Yeah,
story.
I got
many
other
good
stories I
stories.
could tell you, but you must have a time limit.
Oh my God,
Oh
this
my
was
God.
so great. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Don, this was fun. Well,
I love talking to you about all this stuff.
I know. We want to be in one of your films.
Yeah.
We'll be an extra anytime.
I
Well,
know.
okay. I mean,
We're ready.
I'll get a spray
don't
can
tempt
and
me,
blow.
because every now and then I'll say, oh, get me.
Yeah,
you know,
get
so,
me Ali
okay.
and Callie, stat.
You know what? I got
Yeah.
a video of you, but now I'm going to have to get that still that proves the
We're great.
radiance.
Here we are.
Yes.
We're great. We're available.
Thank you, ladies. No, I mean, that's how you get to work.
Hey.
I pretended to be a UPS man.
I love that. That
Yeah.
is so creative.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I've never done that. Maybe I should have done that.
Well, I don't know if you're ever going to get quite that same
I know.
opportunity teed up.
I know. Right. I know. But that's brilliant.
But you know,
So
I
fun.
always say that, you know, in the arts business, or in the art world, the more, you know, flexible and thinking you become as you're entertaining creative ideas all the time, and you just become more.
Things happen.
I love it.
Present it. Make it happen.
Yep.
Oh, well,
All right. Well, Dawn, thank you so
Thank you.
much. This
This-
Thank you for
really
having
fun.
me. This really has been fun.
this was fun.
I
I
brought
love
no notes, but
Great.
it was really just a chat.
Great.
It was a great
I know.
interview.
great
Thank you.
stories.
Thank you. Well,
Oh, super
yeah.
fun.
And we have things in common too.
I
which is
know.
kind of
Well, it's a
fun.
small world. This,
It is
this,
a
this
small
inland
world.
Northwest.
It is.
true, it
It
is.
definitely is. Well, we
like
look
that
forward
about
to seeing your film.
Yeah.
And hearing more and watching more from your studio. So make sure you keep us in the loop.
Yeah,
I
keep
certainly
us in
will.
the
I
loop.
mean, you know, when the time comes to really flog it, I'll be looking
Yeah.
to be back here with my press
Yeah.
kit.
We-
Absolutely.
and we'll
So,
promote
Well,
you.
yep, we will.
Absolutely.
All right.
Alrighty.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank
ladies.
you.
And I'm Ali.
And I'm Callie, and whatever you do today, make sure it's creative.
The Ali and Callie Artcast is a program of the Coeur d'Alene Arts and Culture Alliance and is sponsored by NIA, North Idaho Alliance, a women-based leadership organization designed to inspire, uplift, and impact your community and lives. And Tubbs Coffee Roasters, globally sourced, locally roasted coffee.